What's up guys, it's Andrew Bishop here giving you a Bible verse of the day. I heard this verse in a Matt Chandler sermon and he elaborated a deeper meaning to it, and so I'm going to read the verse and then I'm going to share his perspective of it and kind of what he used to show the verse to be true. Not that he needed to do that because it's the Word of God, but it helped me understand, and maybe it'll help you too. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. It says, this is right after, there's a time for everything, but he has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from beginning to end. I'm going to read that again. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from beginning to end. And so, first and foremost, I just love the beginning of the verse saying, he has made everything beautiful in its time. And that is so true. I mean, in time, everything is beautiful, though we might not see it from a human perspective. But to kind of step out and view from God's perspective, it's beautiful. And we might not even grasp that until we pass and we're in heaven and we're like, But to go on, I just wrote down, typed up some notes, just kind of about that there's nothing, and this is a quote from Matt Chandler, there's nothing in all of creation that can fill that void or that gap in your heart. For example, a lot of people, and I've even been guilty of saying this too, a lot of people say, man, I just got a hole in my heart. Like when my girlfriend got hit by a drunk driver and passed away, for 2.5 years, 3 years after that, I was, man, there's this hole in this heart I'm just trying to fill. That's what I would say. And so Matt Chandler goes on to say, okay, well, what do people try to fill that hole in the heart with? For example, how beautiful was Marilyn Monroe? She's not. She's dead. So beauty will not fill that hole in the heart. How smart is Albert Einstein? He's not. He's dead. So knowledge will not fill that hole in your heart. How great of a tailback is Walter Payton? He's not. He's dead. So athleticism will not fill that hole in your heart. How powerful is Caesar Augustus? He's not. He's dead. So power will not fill that hole in your heart. And so the only thing that will fill that hole in your heart is Christ. And so when Matt Chandler goes on to say that nothing will soothe the human soul, the reality is that one day we will die, and that for days after, some people will mourn, for months after, some people will mourn, and for years after, maybe a couple people will mourn. But ultimately, you will be forgotten. Does anybody watching this video remember their great-great-great-grandfather? Probably not. And that's just proving the point, because there might be one or two of you. And so, ultimately, we will be forgotten. So when a crisis happens into our life, like the crisis in my life was the passing of my girlfriend, you can fall into depression. There's 3 different things. You can fall into depression. We can buy time, like to not think about it, so we can occupy ourselves with school or work or miscellaneous activities to fill the time so we don't have to face reality. So I went through a minor depression, and then I went through that, filling the gap of time with just time, and then just avoiding the inevitable. And then the third would be, by God's mercy alone, we fall into our destiny. And then the third, I'm a living testimony of it, because when that crisis happened in my life, it was easy for me to kind of fall into that depression where pity was upon me, and then I filled my schedule with so many things so I wouldn't think about it. And then by God's beautiful grace and mercy, he just revealed everything to me, saw his name was glorified in the accident, and ultimately led me to believe that his will be done, and was done through that accident, and will continually be done through things in life that my mind might not be able to understand, but to hold trust in him, that he will be glorified, is something that every day I have to remind myself. So I just want to encourage you guys that if you have that hole in your heart, if you have that gap that needs filling, and maybe you just cover yourself in makeup because you think beauty's going to do it, or maybe you just study so much because you think that knowledge is going to do it, or maybe you just go to the gym every day because you think athleticism or muscles are going to do it. History teaches us they won't. Only Jesus Christ will, by God's love and mercy. I love you guys. Feel free to comment below if you'd like. Thank you.